Okay. um, so let's just start with the presentation. So I'm Muhammad Alif. Good afternoon, sir. My name is Muhammad Alif, and in this presentation, I will present you the topic of why people are becoming idiot with technology, understanding its impact and effect. So in this presentation, I will highlight the focus areas with which is as shown at the presentation slide here. Preface, citation, technology effects on our brain, ways technology makes us dumber, the other side of the spectrum, the positive impact of technology, and my opinion on it. So to preface the topic at hand, over time, so technology itself, right? Over time, as technology advanced to automate how we work, what we do in our spare time, and how we do is day-to-day activities, many believe it has led people to use their mind less and their cell phones more. So, however, new research shows the benefit of technological advancement that go beyond the obvious notion that technology makes our life easier. So, despite many people, kind of citate how technologies make us dumber, but there are some stations that, maybe not go into that way, which, not into the notion of technology makes us dumber, but more the side that, technology makes us much more smarter, which, I'm gonna cover in the next slide, which is citation itself. So in this citation, you can see that there is no doubt that there are many things that we don't have so to think about. So as we said before, thanks to our technology, nobody really walks around with a map and compass as they navigate. New cities and countries, calculator have replaced pen and paper and have increased the time we can solve real-world problem or simple equation. Social media took people away from using telephones or mails to connect with friends and families. Studies as also address other benefits like how we online tools and video games can improve cognitive functioning, reduce anxiety, increase stress, and more. However, with their benefits came with the dependency of the technology itself that can become detrimental to one's health. According to a 2020 clinical neuroscience study published on the consequence of digital technology on brain health, frequent use of digital technology increases the likelihood of ADHD, encourage addictive behaviors, and can interfere with sleep, brain development, and emotional and social intelligence itself. So the next slide, we have technology effects on brain. So how technology affects on our brain itself. So in this slide, I will cover up of how the topic of technology that can obviously can affect our brain in its wake. So and first, we have technology use can create structural change in our brain. It means that pings, alert, ring, and notification can shift our focus in a way that can lead to long-lasting difficulties with paying attention. The second one is technological use can wear out the pleasure center of your brain. So it's because of the use of technology can affect of dopamine. So dopamine is the neurotransmitter released in response to pleasure excitement. When we take in near constant technological input or text message like YouTube videos, picture or video games, our brain's pleasure centers, the ventral tegmental area, nucleus accumbens, and basal ganglia, can become hyperstimulated by dopamine itself, which makes our brain much more less responsive to other enjoyable experiences such as eating meal, reading a book, having a conversation, or even human connection or human connectivity, which is like skinship and stuff. Third, we have technology can reduce physical activity. So, in the allure of digital gadget can keep us preoccupied indoors, causing us to miss out on physical activity itself. Caring for our bodies require regular physical activity to strengthen our muscle and cardiovascular systems. Studies have linked increased computer and technology use with sedentary lifestyle and obesity. God call us to take good care of our bodies, but because they have value in of themselves and our soul and spirit. But because we just keep doing what we do with technology, make us less motivated to do some physical activity itself, which in its own it's really not that good. Next, we also have way technology make us dumber. So there are seven ways why technology can make us dumber. So first we have sleep pattern disrupted, which means because of the blue light emitted by the LCD screen of smartphone, tablets, laptop, and monitor, it can suppress our body natural nighttime melatonin production, thus disrupting our sleep schedule. Second, distraction comes naturally because of the entanglement of internet, social media, and mobile device, ensure that information is immediately within a moment's reach. There's always seemingly interesting set of information fighting for their attention. And thanks to modern tech accessibility, one can easily transition between Excel modeling and cat videos. This can become a grave issue for those who lack willpower of where were born during the smartphone generation while multitasking is a norm. According to a 2012 Pew Research Center survey of 2,000 400 teachers, 87% agree that today's digital technology are creating an easily distracted generation with short attention span, which seemingly continues even to this day. Third, we have this mini short-term memory. So Nicholas Carr, an expert, explained that in his book, there are two types of memory: tension working memory and long-term memory. Memories are made when information is transferred from tension working memory to long-term memory. Interrupting the conversation at any point before completion by sending a text message before completing the sentence may erase the information stored altogether. Four, increased forgetfulness. Forgetfulness is compounded when decreased short-term memory is combined with sleep deprivation and chronic multitasking. Not only are new memories difficult to make, but the immediacy of so much information is reinforced the policy that it's not necessary to remember facts, basic arithmetic, or even spelling because Google, calculators, and autocorrect will do all the work for you. Five, increased risks of Alzheimer's disease. By navigating solely by way of GPS for navigation understimulate the hippocampus, they have the brain responsible for the memory of navigation, increasing the risk of suffering from memory or spatial orientation problem later in life. Study itself performed by Frederick Bohbot, Associate Professor of Psychiatry of the Douglas Mental Health Liberty Institute, found that compulsive GPS users have significantly decreased activity in their hippocampus than people who navigate using spatial technique of building cognitive map as a landmark. Next, six, difficulty absorbing information. So studies have shown it's more difficult to absorb information read online than read from books. The overlaid hypertext forces the brain to subconsciously decipher the relevancy of what's played, leaving less processing power for what's actually being read. Next is addiction. So not only is internet addiction disorder, EAD, a recognized pediatric disease, but the brain of internet addicts resemble those of alcoholic or drug addicts. A 2012 study performed by the International Plus One journal found that abnormal gray matter materialized in the brains of internet addicts and disrupt their ability to process emotion and regulate decision making. This changes matches that of abuser. So next we have the other side of the spectrum itself. So in July 2021, however, new research from the University of Cincinnati, UC, argued that there is no clear evidence for the detrimental lasting effect of digital technology on cognitive abilities. But researchers suggest that digital technology may change predominant ways of connection. Despite the headlines, there is no scientific evidence that shows that smartphone and digital technology here or biological cognitive abilities, say UC professor and research co-author Anthony Simero. Semmer say that while technology help us get to places, solve problem, and find solution, it allow us to think of other things technology may not upbeat to speed at. Without the aid of technology, we will still be trying to solve problem our machine and system can solve in second, which will give us less to no time to think of other more complex problem and solution that can further improve life and society in general. So he reassure us that while the advances of technology itself can be detrimental to human, but being more number might be not one of it. So next one we have the positive impact of technology itself. So what are the positive impact of technology on our life? So first we have the higher standard of security for organization. For a long time, password authentication away for among the few ways organization could secure their data. However, hackers become more intelligent as the technology advance and security measures like AWS key management service plays on important keeping in data safe. So because the more higher technical intelligence and higher technical of technology impact itself, it makes organization much more safer and much more contained. So the data that is pretty much what is it private cannot be breached easily. So second is safer management of money, because with technological itself, thing like bank and stuff like that becoming much more impactful, especially with e-banking nowadays. Fast and easy data retrieval. Now with this particular topic, fast and easy data retrieval is because now that we have like technology for banking or data to a database to a server, we can easily retrieve that data that we already stored. So instead of using just our brain just to keep that memory intact, we can keep like something like a text or an image into that database so we can, and then if we want to like read or see that data again, we can fetch the data from that database to our devices. Things like such as Google Drive and OneDrive and so on and so on. Being said, improve and more effective advertising. Now, no, before then, before the technology advanced more and more, advertising is much more on like TV or something like that, or maybe like a banners on our way home, or like on road, a big road. We have like spandex that just big and about advertising about something. But nowadays, because we much more technology advanced, we use more technology advanced app such as YouTube or Twitch or much more video streaming services, we can put ad there, so it's much more effective because people doesn't get out, so we just watch and then we get ads. It can get detrimental a little bit, but for advertising, for opportunities, it's much more easier to access. So it ascends to our next point, which is easier access to education, which means, just like now, we don't have to meet the faces of our teacher or lecturer, because now we just can do e-learning, which is, online learning like Zoom Meet or Google Meet. So we just need to, present the material, or just, teaching the material itself with online based learning like this with camera and stuff. So yeah. And next we have technology simplifies everyday life, which mean, which is basically makes our life much more easier. Like information, we just get it from our phone. Like nothing can escape our grasp nowadays, because now technology just make it much more easier for us to gain anything, to be honest. Next, we have the references I've been using for this specific topic, and lastly, my opinion on said topic. So my opinion on whole of why does technology make us dumber? I don't believe that sentiment true, but there are some truth behind that sentiment either. So like I've been what I've been like presenting to you right now, like all the data and stuff like that, because the data itself is not all bad. There are like positive impact on how technology affect our life, and also, how it makes life just much more easier to grasp. But of course, because positive always has a negative, there are detrimental effect on how it affects our life as well, like maybe our health, or maybe our, make us much more not that responsive to any other stimulus. But for what I can say is, my opinion on this is, I'm quite neutral on this, but for what I said is, it's not technically true about why technology makes us dumber. It's just how we use it and how sparingly we use said technology. Because if we use it too much, we can, get addicted to it. But if we use it sparingly and, use it for a positive effect, like researching information about study and stuff like that, I think you get much more, you can get much more benefit to our life with doing that. So in my opinion, that sentiment is not really true, but there are some true behind it, and it just depends on how we use that technology. That's all for me in this presentation. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.